I just don't all the way understand it. Like I believe in energy too, I
Mm-hmm.
do, but at the same time, I don't see how the universe can command you to do something. If
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know a lot of people use universe. I think they just use that just because they don't want to say God. They don't like, or it's Jesus or whatever. They don't want to be connected to any of that. So it's just universe is just whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's the air, the birds, the bees, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have like. I'm not mad at it. I mean, if that's what you want to say. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, to me, you really just saying Satan. So
Yeah. So for me, like when people say it, my first thought is like, okay, the universe is what God created.
mm,
That's my personal perspective and belief is when you use the term universe, it's the thing that God created. The universe to me is this world, the earth, um, everything, space, everything beyond it, life, everything that exists, right? And God is the one who created that. So God is the umbrella above the universe. So to be honest, I be thinking it's silly when people say like the universe pulled me to do this. It's like, okay, but who created the universe though?
mm,
I mean, but they just using it as an excuse. I mean, like if I didn't make it to the show today and texted you like the universe just was against me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I was meant to be there. It's just an excuse.
That's
It's
that.
one of those things that that's why I don't hear
yeah,
it as
for
much
real.
no more.
Yeah,
It's not a real excuse. It's not something. But talk about manifestation. People
Mm.
gonna do and believe what they believe and come up with.
DJ, you're saying a lot of things. So for one, you're saying people be using it as an excuse. So here's the other thing. There's people that think that you can still use God's name as an excuse. Like for example, the example you just gave, if let's just say you called an Uber here 2 times and both of the drivers canceled on you. And then it's like, some people would be like, oh, if that was me, it's just like, well, that means God, God didn't want me to do this podcast for some reason. Or like, for example, my dad, he was going out, he was trying to make it to a flight. He was running late and trying to make it, speeding to get to the airport. Literally, he could have made it in 5 minutes, but as soon as he ran up to the boarding gate door, the door closed. And then, like, the thought that went through his head was, well, maybe I wasn't supposed to get on that flight for a safety reason. I mean, thank God that nothing happened to the people who
Right.
did make that flight. But people, we do tend to think like that. Like, if, oh, these things don't happen, it's God. So whether it's the universe or God, people can also see people using God's name, quote
Yeah.
unquote, as an excuse.
And I just feel like God gave people free will to do whatever they want to do. I mean, like for real. So like if you do something wrong and you blame it on God, because historically speaking, like they talked about slavery, they talked about
Mm.
doing a lot of bad, like genocide, like killing people, like and then put it in God's name, saying that God wanted them to do this.
Right.
And that's where I think people are a little bit too. That was my scare with religion in the beginning. Like I don't want to use God's name in vain, or
Mm-hmm.
use him as a bad excuse.
And yeah, exactly.
That's like me being like, oh, it's Chrome fault that I put on this shirt today. Like
could have been.
it could have been, but realistically speaking, I
Right.
don't think that type of influence is even possible. Like I don't
Mm.
think you could.
So you're saying that God, people use God as an excuse, but free will. What you said, free will,
Yeah,
that you can do whatever you want, and it's not all God all the time. He's
yeah.
probably letting it happen, but
Oh
it's
man, I
not.
had to I had to come to the realization that there's a there's a devil.
Right.
Right, there's a another entity that works towards distracting us, towards getting us to do the wrong thing, towards encouraging the wrong thing, and it's not always God. It's not
Mm-hmm.
always God's fault that something happens.
Oh,
Sometimes God just let it happen. God knows. God, according to the Bible and what I understand,
right,
God
right, right,
knows it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
right,
But it's
right.
not always God's job to interfere in the path that you're on.
Mm.
This
But
is that's
oh, you're
where it get
saying,
complicated a little bit because it's like God knows,
and He allows.
He allows, of
Mm-hmm.
course. You got to look back to the great floods, like a
Right,
rainbow. A rainbow
right,
represent God not flooding the earth again. Like He, in certain aspects, people saw it as a bad thing, right? Some people see it as a new beginning. but it's really how you take it, and that's where I say free will come into play, because you can willingly let God guide you, like wholeheartedly. You could take your leap of faith and let God guide you either way, right?
Right.
But you got to understand that there are other things in the universe that can stop you or hurt you or harm you or put you in those situations.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Other than God, like you can't.
Yeah, I like how Crone was emphasizing this whole idea that you have brought up of free will, because sometimes, for me, it's not only the devil, what is it called, initiating something. Sometimes it's just us. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, procrastination. Like, if I'm in school and I get an F or whatever, and then, or even beyond that, let's just say I'm just doing poorly in school. And it's not just an F on my paper, but I'm just like showing up late to class, things like that, having a bad experience overall with college. It's like, and I've been praying, I've been praying really hard, but I'm not really putting in the work. It's like, okay, but that was simply me. And it wasn't even the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't the devil. It wasn't God. It was me.
Right.
So,
accountability. Accountability is a big word, Some people don't want to take accountability for their actions, so they do that. They'll be like, oh yeah, the universe said that I was supposed to steal Chrome's glasses because I wanted some Louis V.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'd be some BS sometimes. It'd be some BS.
And DJ, I also want to bring back what you mentioned earlier of believing in energies, right? Because that goes along with talking about God and the universe and things like that. So, like you said, there's people use crystals to. And see, I'm inaccurate because I'm not somebody who does crystals or does special rituals with crystals, but I do. My sister does some things with crystals, and there's other people who do believe in, earthly substances that bring about vibes or emotion. For example, it could be as little as the scent of lavender, right? Like, people use lavender to calm your mind. Here's what I believe when it comes to using earthly substances to initiate certain vibes and things, right? I believe that God created those things and he put everything on this earth for us to, like, we have what we need. So I do believe that, yes, lavender brings about a calming sense. Yes, incense, like it's a vibe, you know what I'm saying? And you can be intentional with those things. Like, I just think that people make a mistake when they start to idolize the earthly substances, like the actual stone and crystal. What is a stone gonna do for you? Why are you gonna pray to a stone?
I had to look at stuff a little bit differently too, because when my dad passed away, I was less religious. Church, praying, stuff like that was a turnoff. It was one of those things I pushed away, pushed to the side. But what I did lean into was understanding, like, energy can't be created or destroyed. It could be channeled, right? You could channel energy into something. You could channel energy a certain way. Or you could push energy, you could move energy, but you can't create it. You can't destroy it. So when people take these objects, right, and they say there's energy in them, I can believe that. I can look at that. If you believe it, I can believe it, And then there's a lot of science behind a lot of that stuff.
So we're going to dive into that too. We're going to dive into that. We're going to dive into the science.
But yeah, it's definitely like that. I don't think that people fully understand, like, even if you talk about your soul, like, your soul can't be destroyed.
I believe that too.
I don't think that, like, spiritually you could be broken like that. So I'm gonna leave it there. How you feel, Chrome? How you feel, man?
Yeah, a lot of these things, God works because we believe in them. These crystals and things, they work because you believe in it. If you don't ever believe in it, I don't think they would work. You know what I mean? It just matters how much belief you put into it. Yeah.
Wait, run that back.
Manifestation, you gotta believe.
You gotta believe.
Wait.
Believe is the key.
Okay, you gotta be. What is it called? On top of your words. So you said are you saying that in order for God to work, you have to believe in him?
For sure. I mean, he's always helping us out.
We got to get into that. Y'all. We got to get into it.
We can go. Let's go.
What's good, little brother? What's good, the gang?
Witchcraft on the podcast. Talking about spells.
When y'all coming on, I do have a handful of young men who have been texting me about this specific podcast. They said whenever you ready, they ready, and they ready.
Say it again.
What's the date?
Today's date is the 20.
I got subs.
Wait,
What's
it's
going on, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
What's
How y'all
good,
doing,
big
man?
guy?
Hello, yo,
We
bro.
on
What's
the
going on?
screen.
Hello, hello.
DJ, if you got
How
young
does
men right
Cali
now that are texting
podcast?
like, oh, or they.
Yeah, a couple young. I got
know.
a young man who was really interested in
Worldwide, I
He
guess.
hit
I'm in
me
India.
last
I'm in
week.
China.
Shout out my boy Juke.
In
What's
Cali.
good,
Wherever, bro.
cuz?
Wherever you want.
My uncle's on my
Well,
life.
yeah, this is a topic that can just go on. This is a conversation that can go on forever. Forever. Because
No, they
thinking
just
about God is.
they wanted just to understand more of what was going on with the platform. Mr. Dean always saying this about young black men and giving
Oh,
a voice
okay,
to
okay,
young
okay,
black
okay.
men.
Okay.
There actually was a couple of females who hit me too, like, hey, I want to get into the podcast space. But we gonna bring y'all on one of these days. You know,
No.
I want them on.
Let's
like,
bring them on
Make
next
a-
week.
Make your
For
own.
him one of
Bring-
these days.
Bring them on next week. Hey,
We got 2 days next week where we can
Hey,
come in. We
we
have
gotta-
Monday and
we gotta
Wednesday.
push the other podcast. I got too many people, man. But yeah, for sure, we could definitely make something happen.
We got Monday and Wednesday, so yeah, we could definitely make it happen.
Are y'all ready?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The monies. Let's get the monies.
Cameras are going. And here goes the audio. 3, 2, 3, 2.
We are back on the Men Up Club Presents podcast today. We're talking about God. We got into some really interesting conversation. Chrome said something kind of off the wall the last segment. He said, what you say about us believing that God worked? What you say? Just repeat what you said.
So, in order for God to work in your life, you got to be able to believe in Him.
that's
Also with the crystals.
controversial.
What you think about it?
That's with anything. I ain't going like I said, that manifestation, that free will that God gave us plays a big part into things happening around us.
Okay, so but here, okay. What you like, I feel like I understand where you're going, but what you're saying, it's almost like a, what is it called, like a heresy or like a taboo thing, because you're saying in order for God to work, then we have to believe in Him.
Yeah.
It's like, yes,
For sure.
faith. Okay, faith as a Christian, I believe faith without works is dead.
Right.
But God also does not need us.
Right.
He don't need us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He created us. He is the creator of everything.
Right.
And so it's like, whether I believe God or not, God is doing things. He's making things happen in my sleep. You know?
For sure. God, He's not stopping for nobody. But I mean, if you want to tap into that power, you have to be able to believe. That's for
Okay.
you, not for God. God can take you out tomorrow.
You ever heard people compare God and religion to politics?
I have.
Where they like if you wanna keep a friend, don't talk about God or politics.
Yep, I've heard that before.
That comparison just in itself, or comparing God to anything as far as like political
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
humanly is dumb in my head. I ain't gonna lie, just because
To compare God to politics is dumb.
yeah, because I made
How so?
I made more friends talking about God
Mhm.
and connecting with. It's a way to connect. Politics is a way to divide. You talk about Republicans and these are two polar opposite things that don't go together.
Do you think God plays a part in politics?
Does God play a part in politics?
In order?
God, look on the back of your money. That's easy.
Yeah, we understand that.
You know that's easy, bro. But you gotta understand, like, people can take that out of context, you
They
know,
sure can.
and they use, like I said in the beginning, they use God as an excuse. There, in my head, God should never be a way to divide people.
Right,
There's no way that you could use God to divide if He is.
I want to say that is so dope that you can say, oh, most people think that, you shouldn't be talking about God because it's obviously going to bring about division and controversy and make people feel uncomfortable. But you have that perspective for a reason.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that, well, probably the reason why those conversations that you have with people about God has brought you closer to people is because the people that you're talking to and yourself are mature enough to maybe agree to disagree. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're right. The way that you talk about God, it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're combative with it, that's why a lot of people, they don't like talking about God and things like that, because their experience with Christians or even other people who believe in certain faiths, unfortunately, has been negative.
Yeah.
And as Christians, the type of Christian that I want to be the person that somebody can think about, well, dang, like that's one of the Christians that actually, like, even though I don't believe what she believes, like she actually makes me feel safe, or she makes me feel like I can talk about what I believe, and then also maybe even hear a little bit about what she believes, and it's not threatening.
Right.
So I like that. So how do you guys know that God is real? Okay, how do y'all know that God is real?
I don't know God. I mean, you see the trees, you see the birds, you see the bees. Who put it there? I know Big Bang can't do it. I know, there's a lot of things. Even look at the body. The body repairs itself. Things happen that you see dreams. There's something else. There's some controlling. There's some controlling everything. You can't. The ecosystem. Everybody got food. Birds got food. We got food.
He said it.
You know what I'm saying? The
Said
bees got
everybody
food.
eat. Everybody eat.
The smallest parasite in your body has food. Who's giving these guys food, man? Somebody's controlling this. That's how I know.
Okay, so there are people who are atheists. They see the birds, they see the trees, they know their body work, but what I understand is that their belief is that, like you said, you brought up the Big Bang. That they could believe in that. They could believe that it's nature, it's science,
Evolution.
Yeah, right, evolution. You know what I'm saying? There's people still believe, and I don't know if you guys believe that either, but yeah, that humans started off as apes and things like that.
Come on,
But
there's still monkeys at the zoo.
You said in the beginning, God is the umbrella. He's the creator.
right, that's what I believe. Right.
Right. He created and then let us create. He created and made creators.
But
right?
I'm
like that. So this is where people get real critical,
Right.
because even I seen an atheist in jail cry
Mm.
and pray to God after he got sentenced. So when people are in their worst position,
Mhm.
they still look for something to lean on. It could be a person, but they look for that attribute in everybody, that godly sense in everybody. So they don't have to necessarily believe in God, and this is why I don't really argue with people about religion. If you believe in you, if you believe in your parents, if you believe in anything, then I can work with you. We can have a conversation about faith.
If you believe in
anything,
love, is
love,
that what you're saying?
and if you believe in anything, if you believe in yourself, we can start having a conversation about God.
Okay, but you're saying if somebody's hopeless, that's when you can't have a conversation.
Yeah, when people are just 100% against believing in anything, when they wholeheartedly have given up belief.
Well, okay, see, the thing is here,
That's when it get
Atheists-
complicated.
atheism is the rejection of deities. It is the rejection that any God exists. So yes, they believe in their parents. Yes, there's atheists that literally love as hard as I do. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, like, but it's like they just believe it's a different philosophy or line of thinking. It's like, okay, I like what you said. Or you brought up a good point when you had said, you saw this, this atheist who got sentenced, and you ended up seeing him pray to God. But there are atheists who claim that because they don't understand one of the issues. They don't understand why, if there's a God, why is everybody getting shot up in school? Why are these innocent babies getting shot up in school? Why are people just dropping dead like flies? You know what I'm saying? I mean, in certain communities, people just dying every day. You got starving kids in other areas of the world. You know what I'm saying? All this suffering, cancer, constantly. Life is not fair. And then people look at, okay, why do the good people, why do they That's that's the problem a lot of people have. Why do the good people die so young, or why do they die so quick, or why do they die in the most horrible ways? And then you see bad people succeeding, getting up there, getting the money, getting the fame, or just coming up because they're using people. They cannot. That don't make. If there's a God, if there's a good God, why is this stuff happening?
Oh, I said it before. Comparison is going to be the downfall of most men. that's the easiest way to put it. Look, there's certain things that we can control, and then there's certain things that we can't. Unfortunately, we can't control other people. We could try to. We could use technology. We could hypnotize. I saw some hypnotist stuff and some other stuff. We could try to control other people. We can't. But unfortunately, the only person that you can really control is you. So when people sit there and they dissect or they question God, and then they're like, why is this happening, or what's going on over here, or I just gotta let that be. That's not that I'm not gonna say that's not my problem. It's not my, because I still feel some type of way. If something happens, I feel it. I feel it. But at the same time, I believe that God has a plan. And unfortunately, I've seen the holiest people go. I've seen the people who believe in God the most and live the best life and don't value the money. They really value like the people in their relationships, and I've seen them pass away.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, if you really believe in God, then you know the spirit is eternal. It didn't go nowhere. That's why I said in the beginning, energy can't be created nor destroyed. So if you believe that people are getting destroyed because of these bad incidents and their souls are gone or they just don't exist no more, then I can't agree with you.
What you think, Carmen?
I think
Talking about all this, I know you got some thoughts in your head, just like.
I mean, it's just like it starts in a home in America. A lot of people are dead in America, but they still living. It's the living dead. You know what I mean?
Like The Walking Dead.
Yeah, The Walking Dead. And that's a lot of what's going on. You know what I mean? Other countries, I don't know. I don't know why people are dying and stuff like that. Nobody knows the mind of God, but for sure he told us somewhere in the Bible. I just don't know where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
But for sure he had to let us know. You know what I'm saying? This is happening because it is human nature. You know, people want to be God. People want to kind of control. A lot of people are under control. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see death as a punishment.
It's not. It just is.
I don't think death is the punishment.
Nah, death's not the punishment. No.
I think living was the punishment.
Oh man, no, living was the gift, bro. No, living was the gift.
I think
living is a gift, bro. Even demons want to live, bro. In the physical realm.
Living is a gift. Living is a gift.
The gift of life, bro.
The gift of life, right?
Mm-hmm. I agree with Carmen.
I agree.
But I know what you're saying. But I know what you're saying, though.
The struggle is the punishment, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for clearing that up. It's not living that is. Because you're right. You're wholeheartedly right. Like I completely 110% agree with you, Chrome. But the struggle of life
is beautiful.
You just said.
What are you talking about? You just said that. Right.
Bro.
It's a beautiful struggle. It's a curse and a gift. Life is exactly what you make it to a T.
See, he's speaking from wisdom, but you got to be clear though, because me and Chrome did catch that.
You caught that? You caught
what
that?
you say?
Man up lesson.
Mr. D, shout out Mr. D.
Shout out Mr. Shout out Crossman. Look, all I'ma say is life is what you make it. If you focus on all the negative stuff in life, then your life is going to be negative. If you focus on the positive and the good of life, then you're going to notice there are so many good things going on. We just highlight the bad. Like if you watch the news, I could call 10 people doing something positive right now.
Right.
Out of 10 phone calls, I could call 10 people doing something positive right now because that's what they focus on. That's what they're doing. That's what I see from them. Now, those 10 people might have their flaws. But at the same time, I'm not calling them to talk about their flaws. I'm not calling them to criticize what they doing or how they dress or how they walk. That's not what I'm here for.
And let me just say, it's not about us ignoring the bad things, okay? Because we're not supposed to do that. But I would just say that a lot of bad things happen. It's not God.
Yeah.
It's the nature of people. Okay, so,
I feel you. It's principalities and
all that stuff.
Principalities. I'm gonna keep going. Principalities in higher places, bro. You know what I mean? There's just like you said. There's more things that are in control. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I want to say let's get into one segment one more time.
Huh?
Just say let's get into the next segment one more time.
Okay. let's get into that. Let's get into the next segment.
He said we gonna edit that in.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I've been here before, bro.
Everybody started talking all at once and maxed it out. I'm like, no, we're not ending an episode like that.
Yeah.
They talk about speaking and shout out my boy God out there.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro, I was looking at you, bro, and I'm like, deja vu.
Deja vu.
Been here before. Walked in here in a dream or something.
Slam, 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 slam.
You know, it's funny slash not
What's the
funny.
word? What's the word? What's the word?
Notice that I wasn't recording halfway through, so I have to put in the man of Club Love.
I made it on the screen, guys.
Wait, you weren't recording halfway through. What do you mean?
The audio was recorded, the video was recorded. That's what they're separate, like if they were together, I would know.
Wait, so
I got a couple minutes. Otherwise,
No, we do.
text
Like the last
me.
7 minutes.
No, I'm talking. Oh, the last 7 minutes we don't have video.
We don't have video. Like, we have audio, we have everything. I'm just gonna have to put the logo.
Oh man, we were just talking about it. I got somebody for the podcast already.
It's happened.
Yay!
Shout out the gang.
Okay.
Shout out the gang.
What's up?
Shout out the gang. But yeah, it's this one. I got another project I'm working on too. So we gonna tap in. I got you. I'm gonna call you when I'm done with this. I got like 30 more minutes. We got 2 more 13-minute segments.
Alright, where y'all at though? Let me shout out the channel. Where y'all at?
We right here on we at Northwestern University, KTIS building.
Shout out to
Holy
Northwestern,
Culture
y'all
Radio.
know. Tap in with the channel, you know. Only big motion this way. Y'all gonna figure it out.
Only the biggest, man. Only the biggest is love,
Only
brother.
big motion, okay.
Alright, family, be easy. Call me back, shorty.
Yeah. Bro streaming.
Oh, okay.
He's streaming, so he like, let me shout out there. That's what I said, bro. I called 20 niggas right now. I'm doing something positive.
Right. Oh yeah, no, I hear.
Pushing positivity. Niggas want to be negative. They gonna find negativity. You talk to me about my background instead of my resume.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
gonna
that's
judge me
that's
different.
facts.
Can you
Yeah,
do,
y'all
cuz?
saying some. Y'all saying some interesting.
What you gonna do, cuz? Bro, this weather shit is whooping my eyes off.
What's the what we doing next for the next piece? What are you finna ask?
I was gonna kind of expand on. First of all, I wanted to say how. Well, the next piece is how can God and science complement each other, or how do they complement each other or do they divide? And then, on the topic of like, how do you know that God is real? I want to say why I know God is real compared to the idea of atheism.
Okay.
And like I can't remember exactly. Y'all started talking and I really
Wing
wanted
it,
to pick
nigga.
off something.
Yeah. It's
Wait,
kind
nigga.
of.
Yeah, 'cause what were you thinking?
I ended off talking about principalities in higher places.
Principalities and
Yeah, because we were talking about why you said the human condition makes us like this, and he's saying people are thinking I'm bad, and I'm saying that there's principalities and like demons in everybody's life
Yes, expand
controlling
on that.
things.
No, expand. Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts about that on the demons and. Yeah, I want to hear that.
We can't forget that. We can't forget. We're still in a battle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're definitely in a battle.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cameras are rolling. And here goes the audio. 3, 2.
What's up, you guys? We are back with Chrome and DJ. Okay, we are talking about God getting in a real juicy conversation, y'all. Juicy conversation. So let's get back into it. Chrome had talked about demons, and we were just talking about, why do people not believe in God, and why do you personally believe in God? Then Chrome said something about, demons and things like that. So expand on your thoughts right now.
So we ended up talking about why bad things happen to people. I ended off with there's demons and principalities in higher places that we can't see that are controlling things. And you had said something about, people see people having cars and money and status and or just living good on the outside, but never know what's going on the inside. People are really dead on the inside. People, the devil's gonna make it look good, but he's not gonna tell you what's going on the back end.
Yeah, and see, that's a whole nother conversation because the temptations of this world, a lot of people see, it's the sex, it's money, like filthy rich money, because it's the idea of being in love with the fact that I can get whatever I want at my fingertips. If I got the money for it,
Mm.
9 times out of 10, people gonna fold for money.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why people say, oh, the root of, why am I blanking on the most common statement? The root of all evil is money. Okay.
It's really the love of money. You know what I'm saying? The love of money. The money is
Because
evil.
money in the Bible, money is in the Bible.
Yeah, for sure. God wants you to be rich.
Currency
Exactly.
is in the Bible. It's
It's
a
the way you
tool.
use it.
It's an object.
It's the love.
It's
People
the
love
love.
it too much.
Yeah.
It's the love. That's wisdom right there. It's the love. When you start to make money your God, okay, and you start compromising on your morals and things like that, that's when everything's gonna go left for you internally. And that's what I think about when you say people be dead on the inside.
Hey,
Yeah.
and wait,
Right,
pause. I love money.
Hey, I love money too.
That's-
Love
Well,
money. God love
I
money.
don't worship money. I love
Mm.
money. I don't worship money. I love money though. I
See.
love money though.
Yeah.
But I don't worship money. I love the clothes I got on,
Me
Right.
too.
but I'll burn them if it was, if
Right.
it came down to hot, you know. But that's where I think it's a big divide where people think if you love something too much,
Mm-hmm.
then you worship it.
Right.
No, I don't worship money. I love money. I love money more than I love some other stuff for sure. Talk
That-
about rain and weather and all the other stuff on the earth. There's certain things on earth I don't like as much as money.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I worship money.
Exactly. I like that, and I agree with you, because I love being able to, let's just say, take a flight and see my family whenever I want. Money creates opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like you said, don't make it don't worship it. Don't make it your God.
Yeah,
And God, what I believe as a Christian, God is a jealous God.
for sure.
You know.
For sure.
But we kind of talked on atheism and things like that, and this is what I think about it. One of the biggest reasons why I believe in God is because the alternative thought that there's nothing after death, it doesn't make any sense to me. It does not make any sense to me. Like, okay, let's just say that I believed that there was nothing, after this life. Like that, if that's true, that means that the love that I shared between me and my grandmother, the woman that taught me how to read, the woman that taught me how to write, the woman that loved me more than, she made me feel loved more than any other human did. And it's like, okay, the bond that I have with her, she's passed away now. But just because she's passed away, oh, that just meant nothing? Like, what was the point? What is the point of all of this? Like, what's the point of, protecting your loved ones? What's the point of getting riled up if somebody like disrespects your cousin or something like that? Like, what's the point of like marrying somebody and then like literally loving their soul? You know what I'm saying? Like literally loving their soul, and then when they die, oh, we just go to dirt. Like, if that's the case, this is kind of a morbid perspective, but it's like, with that perspective, I see how people can just kill people because, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, why? It don't matter. Like, why try to be good in this world if it doesn't even matter? And then, like, I understand the other perspective as well. Yeah, I believe that there's nothing after this. Like, there's no God or whatever. We are our own gods. But like, this is the life. This is the only life. And see, I cannot wrap my head around. It's like, okay, this is the only life. Well, dang, like,
Nope.
That's messed up too, because it's like, okay, well, there's so much suffering in this life.
I was having a conversation with Uncle Dave. Shout out David Hahn, the CEO from Urban Ventures, like literally yesterday about this exact topic. And he was like, when you die, how are you going to get into heaven? Like, you get to the gates and God comes to you and he says, like, why should I let you in? Y'all know the answer to the question?
Because I love you.
Bible study 101. Bible study 101 from DJ himself. John 3:16.
For God so loved the world that he
Yeah, for
He
God
gave-
so loved the world that he gave his
only begotten son.
Yep.
Right? Yes.
that whoever believed in him should not perish but have eternal
Eternal life.
life. So when you talk about eternal life, not physical eternal life, like not physically living, like but spiritually living forever. They say if you want to live forever, you have to believe
Mm.
that God sent his only son to die for us, for our sins, to give us eternal life. So to relieve us, and that's why I said before, life isn't it's a blessing, for one, it is. But it's also one of our curses. It's one of those things that we worship. We worship life to an extent that when we die, we hate it. We hate death. But death isn't the say all be all. It's not the end. It's just a physical death. It's not a spiritual death.
Yeah, like you said that, bro. I've created a whole brand. The brand name is Death. Just the meaning of that is exactly what you said. John 3:16, you know what I'm saying? But it's focusing not more on life, but the death.
Yeah.
The death of yourself on the inside, you know what I'm saying? Killing the person on the inside so you can live life actually, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Not, you don't gotta die, but you gotta die from the ego. You gotta die your ego so you can really live in this life. Like you can live in hell physically right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are in hell, but you gotta know how to die from within to live in heaven physically. To have peace, you know what I'm saying? To have peace. Like peace is good. Like I was living in hell not too long ago. I'm just starting to grab a little piece of peace. And I'm understanding like, God, this is what you mean.
Right.
Anything you go through. Somebody can die, somebody can blow up your house, but you're gonna be good because you got that peace.
Right.
That's real calm. That is, y'all need to play him back, okay? I'm just, if you listening to this episode, you need to play him back because it was just, first of all, it's heartfelt. I can tell it's heartfelt, but two, it's wisdom because it's like, okay, you said that's your clothing brand or that's the clothing brand you want to start?
Clothing brand. It's
Yeah.
a brand, yeah.
And so it's like the word for it is death. So you would think like you're repping death, but it's like a deeper meaning.
Yeah, you gotta understand. You know, when you see death, it just catches your eye. So it's just catching your eye. But if you want to go deeper, you want to know the story about it. Yeah, come over. I'll tell you.
I like that. You know, guys, talking about death. Okay, as a person of faith, I'm growing with the idea. You know, like as of right now. Okay, actually, let me back up. Before recent times, I was very uncomfortable with death. I still am uncomfortable with death. But my relationship with it is I hate it. You know, I'm not one of those people that, you know, think like, okay, yeah, death is a passage to life. It's like, yes, I know that, you know, eventually I would like to get to that perspective, but like, it's just when I think about death, I associate it so much with just being ruthless and it's a thief. You know what I'm saying? Like even in the Bible it talks about death comes like a thief in the night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's true. Like death don't care about race. Death don't care about age. Death don't care about what you did. It don't care about how much you love your grandma. It don't care about none of that.
Right.
It's nature and it's time. And and you're just gonna get snatched up. And it's like, dang, death took my grandmother away. And for a lot of people they feel that death took my mama away. Death took my brother away. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's so I don't know.
Yeah,
like
I feel what you're saying. I mean, Jesus died. He died. Yeah. Isn't that what we believe? We do communion. We drink the blood because he died. We did this because he died. You know what I mean? Just because you died don't mean you dead. You dead. You still here, or you're alive, but you're just not alive here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Mr. Dean lesson 101. Mr. Dean, shout out Mr. Dean in the back of my head right now. Emotions and feelings are temporary. Right? So when you attach death to an emotion, to a temporary emotion, you actually make it longer. Like you drag it out. You know, you take that emotion and every time it's a trigger, you know, and that's not a bad thing. We emotional beings. We're supposed to feel. But when you take away the emotion from death, it's a celebration.
Right.
That's why what you saying with church we celebrate.
Yeah.
We celebrate
celebration of life. Yeah.
a celebration of the life that they have, not the life that they had. There's a clear line that people cross sometimes and be like they not living no more. No point.
Right.
It's the life that they have because eternally they're not dead. They didn't go anywhere.
Mhm.
And that was my peace. That's how I found my peace with my dad passing away. That's how I find my peace with my friends and my family members passing away, because in my belief, I have to understand that this is a celebration of them moving on to another chapter of life. And I might not be there yet. I'm not there yet,
Right,
but
yeah.
everybody got to get there. There's not a person on earth who's not going to have to die,
Right.
you know. And just went to a funeral Friday, and we were talking about just how they come back. How do we keep them alive in memory? How do we celebrate them on a daily basis? How do we do the things that they can't do for them? You know, so to your point, I don't think people die spiritually. You could be spiritually dead. But I don't think you die spiritually. I don't think you die like that.
Yeah, I want to counter what you just said. You said that we should find ways to celebrate them
Yeah.
still while they're not here. You know, I go against that just a little bit because it's like they're gone. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never coming back. You know what I'm saying? We had a funeral, boom, you eat some food, everybody go home, and that should just be it. You know what I
Hell
mean?
nah.
It really should. The funerals really should be a celebration, because it's like, dude, if we really know how you live, if you live for God for real, we should be celebrating. Like, bro, he's gone. You know what I'm saying? He's kicking it with God, or about to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, you know, it's just got to be, they here, the funeral, boom. You know what I mean? We celebrate them. We know that they're in our memories, but it's like, then you kind of worshiping the dead, I feel like, at that point.
Nah, not worshiping, but I love
Cherishing
my
the memory.
dad. I love my dad. Like I said, I love them. I love them to another level, especially after I can't pick up the phone and call them no more.
Right.
I don't worship them.
Mm.
I'm not praying to my dad. I'm
Right.
not asking them for a blessing.
True.
Worshiping and loving are two different things, and that's why I said it's a.
Yeah, he threw the thumb up.
Hey, but we
Yeah,
gonna
we
get
having a
back
conversation
into
for
it.
real. Yeah,
We
for real.
gonna get back into it, man. What's the difference
Yeah, come on.
between love and worshiping?
Ooh.
Answer the.
I mean,
I saw you
I
cut
don't
it out.
know. That's
Saw you cut it out, Jake.
Got you.
No. Answer the question for yourself. I'm worshiping my dad, but
Nah, for
them
real
my
though, bro.
niggas.
We need to have parties instead of funerals.
It is a party.
Dude, people be crying too hard though.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? I
That's
understand. You
the
can shed your
emotion.
tears. You can shed your
What?
tears. You can shed your
What?
tears.
That's what they supposed to do.
You ain't supposed to do
I
that.
cried
But
when
think
my-
about when
I
Jesus
cried
died. He
when
was
my
like,
daughter was born.
think about this. Jesus
So
was
did I.
like, he was like, boom. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna die, bro. I'm gonna be in the grave for 3 days,
Yeah.
and then I'm
He's
come back
also-
and kick with y'all.
He's also never not existed, so that's also kind of thrown up in the water too.
True, but physically though, we talking about physically. We talking about him. He's talking about comparing to humans though. He's telling humans, bro, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna come back 3 days, do what I gotta do, come back 3 days,
He didn't
and
say
then
that.
I'm
We
gonna pop
got
up.
one last episode.
He didn't say
One
that.
last episode.
Or one
And we,
last-
Did he say that?
listen,
Think
guys.
about this, and then when
He didn't say that. He
bro,
came back.
okay,
I thought.
he's that's what I'm saying. He's telling them that he's
And it
gonna
was-
come back,
Okay, wait.
and then when he's
And
in
it
the
was
room,
7 days.
and he's like,
Guys,
7 days.
He died for 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
I thought it was
Yeah.
7.
3 days, bro.
I told you I missed it.
Alright, we gotta start. Ready?
Okay, wait. Okay, hold on. When
Dude,
Jake,
look,
listen to me.
he appeared in the room. All right, that's what I wanted to say.
Okay, I know. When Jake does the 1 minute, you guys have to
For this
wrap
one,
it up because
we gotta toss it back to her.
like at the one I have to close out the whole thing.
Well, then
when
close it out.
When he does the 1 minute, like I
Alright.
don't mean stop what you talk. Well, you know, just
Yes, it do.
Just means hand it off to
Stop
her.
being
hand it
nice.
off.
Okay.
Stop being nice. It means shut the
She's
hell
gonna
up.
close it out in the whole 1
No,
minute.
because I don't know if I can
And
do the
keep it
whole 1
moving.
minute. Like I don't want to do the whole
Well,
1
yeah,
minute.
like
No, not the
Like
whole-
you can do
transition.
like 30 seconds and then you know what I'm saying.
Okay, so we gonna split it in half.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, just butt in on us. Just be like, all right, y'all, shut up,
Okay.
Pretty much.
or whatever.
Just
Yeah,
nice.
shut up.
Hey, shut your.
Okay.
That's all we want.
Just come in like, and we got one more segment.
Right.
Alright.
Exactly.
Let's get
You
it
gotta
done.
ease your way.
Alright, here goes the cameras. They're rolling this time. I'll make sure.
Wait, they weren't rolling last
No,
time?
they were.
Okay.
We're good. Alright, here goes the audio. 3, 2.
Welcome to the last segment of the Man Up Club Presents. We're talking about. I'm sorry. I like to-
Run that back.
Oh my
Hey, girl.
gosh.
Hey,
You should
hey.
let that in there. That was
No,
good.
that's what I'm gonna do. It's just I laughed.
Alright, you good? Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2.
Welcome to the. Oh, sorry, I just.
Yeah, just-
Wait.
You laugh like.
Laugh now. Just get it out.
Alright,
Get it out.
2,
Don't look at it, Chrome.
3, 2.
Welcome to the Man Up Club Presents. We are having a very interesting conversation on God And we're going to close it out with the last segment, guys. This is a conversation that continues on for ages and generations. Okay. How was that? It was good?
Yeah,
Okay.
good.
Okay,
Beautiful.
so
Beautiful.
here's the thing about this. We're talking about the afterlife.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of the afterlife, do you guys believe that after we die our first physical death, the one that everybody knows, are we gonna come back with new bodies? Or are we just gonna be spirits? That's a very thought about question.
So, reincarnation, right?
I want to be a frog.
Okay.
A frog is.
That's just, okay.
Almost went the wrong way. All right, look. No, we not gonna go
All
that way.
right.
All right, so look, I believe in spiritual attachments. Okay, so you talked about your grandma. I talked about my dad. Spiritually, I'm attached to these people. Now, and they say when you reincarnated, you tend to do the same things. You meet the same person, the love of your life, the person that you're supposed to be with. You go find those people because of your spiritual attachments. I believe it's the same way in death. When you pass away, you go and find those spirits that you're attached to, right? So, and that's why when you attach to God, you go find God. God is there.
Because it's of His Spirit. That's why as Christians we say we are of the same Spirit. You know what I'm saying? So when we proclaim, okay, that God is the Father, Jesus Christ is our personal Lord and Savior, we share that faith. That's what sharing the faith is. It's let's all go back. Let's be in the family of that Spirit. So all the souls who are part of that family, that's how we're able to connect with each other in the afterlife.
Yeah, and I think when people pass away, a piece of them stay and a piece of us goes. So like I invested so much time and was around people so much that I honestly feel like they was a part of me. So then when you talk about us not being sad, I can't help but cry, but at the same time I'm a father. When my kids was born, I almost cried, bro, because it was a piece of me that came to life, So there's this understand, like, for one, tears don't make you weep. Tears don't mean that you sad all the time. There's happy tears. There's happy tears. But at the same time, understanding like those emotions, they can be temporary, but that feeling sometimes is like everlasting. Like the way that I felt when my dad cracked a joke, I still be feeling that sometimes. Like certain times, like certain things happen and you still just feel it. Deja vu earlier, it's just certain feelings that you have or certain instances where you could really emphasize that person.
Okay, so do you believe that after we die, it's just a spiritual life?
Nah, I don't
Do you think
so.
do you think that you'll be physically reborn again? Like, yeah.
I believe in mirroring, when like you can, or like when the dead actually show themselves again through something. You ever heard of like those sounds like the wind blow a certain way and you hear somebody like speaking in your conscience. So like subconsciously living with us, like through our memories, I believe is another way of like reincarnation. Because if I fall asleep right now, I'm dreaming about my dad or I dream about my friends. I don't think
You gotta be careful with that for sure, because I'm pretty sure in the Bible, I don't know where, but you can find it. Once you're dead, you're dead. You have no connection to the physical life until the second, like, till it's all over. You know what I mean? You can listen to the spirits, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, a dream. You know what I'm saying? People can come back in your dreams, but who are they? You know what I'm saying?
Subconsciously. That's why I said not.
It's subconscious, but they're gone though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a demon can transform into anybody. A demon can transform into angel of light. Why can't he be your dad or your cousin or your brother, or you know what I mean?
They never said we couldn't get influenced by demons after being baptized. They said that they can no longer possess you, if that makes sense. So when I leaned into my faith more and I started looking into like why even get baptized, like what was the point? They say once you honor God and Jesus Christ, then no evil entity can take over your body, right?
Take over doesn't mean it can't be in your mind, can't be around you.
I mean, if you were in my mind, I feel like you're taking over my body. So subconsciously, I'm basing those images and those visions off of something that I've already experienced. So I don't think it's like something new. It's not like my dad coming and telling me like, "Oh yeah, DJ, go do something crazy."
Guys, as you can see, it's obviously a tough question
We need more time.
because
Just said we need more time.
I know.
Yeah.
It's obviously a tough question because both of y'all are answering in affirmative.
About
But-
what? About what? What's the
about-
question?
Do you think-
Reincarnation.
Well, actually, DJ, you did.
I don't believe in reincarnation. You do,
Not
right?
reincarnation, but do you think that you'll physically have a body for eternity?
No, we just gonna be in the like spirit, our soul. That's
Like,
it.
you think I'll get another body?
Or
I mean,
have the same body, but it
God
be
could send
perfect?
you back
No,
to earth.
no, because think
He said,
about it. Think
"I
about
want
it. Think
my
about it.
body."
Think
I
about
feel
it.
like God
Think about
could
it.
send you back to earth.
Think about it. Think about like why
I
would he
think
send
he
you back
could-
to earth though? He only did that for Jesus for a reason.
But like I said in the beginning, energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
Exactly. So our soul was created, right? Or it's
Yes.
always been, right? God
Yep.
knew us before the womb.
Yep.
So it's not gonna die. We just
Okay.
it's, our physical body's gonna die. You know what I'm saying? We can touch.
Right.
Our spirit's not gonna die.
Okay.
So we just gonna be a spirit.
No. You just
But
said
think
God
about
knew
this.
us.
Agree to disagree.
Okay,
You
though.
just-
look.
I know.
We need
I'm
to pull
just
the verse
messing with
up.
him because he
Because when Jesus died and he came back,
Yeah.
nobody didn't know what he looked different, right?
Yeah, sure.
So that was his elevated body. It didn't look the same as his physical body.
But how could
So that's why we shouldn't pay attention to the physical body.
Right. I look good. But on a different
Now,
note,
hold the mic-
on a
hold the
different
microphone
note,
here, man.
how could God know us before our physical?
What?
Dude, how you going?
Wait, wait,
wait,
hold
so
on, pause.
He said
Yeah,
God
yeah.
knew us before the womb.
Of course.
Of course, God knew us before the womb.
Okay, so is there a possibility that we come
always
back
been?
again?
That we
I
Or
think
we've
we've always
been
been.
here before? Is there a possibility since he
Or-
already knew us
Yes.
and we already was there?
Right.
Because how do you? It's like the
And you
chicken
mean in
and the
heaven?
egg question: was I a spirit or was I human? Was I
Okay,
physically here
that's a
first?
wonderful point. That's a wonderful point. Let me
Go ahead,
say
go
this
ahead.
real quick.
Go ahead.
Let me say this real quick. That is a wonderful point. So yes, since we believe that God knew us before we were physically born, yes, we were alive then. But so wow, that's actually crazy. I never
We
thought
need
about
to
it.
We
weren't alive, But see, I think he knew us before we were physically born because God has always been.
Right.
He's always been. The Lord has always been here.
Time's irrelevant.
Yeah, like time is
Right,
irrelevant
right,
to
right.
God. He's,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like God knew at the beginning of himself that we would be here. We just didn't know we were here. When we didn't exist, we didn't know. What's up?
Think about this. All right, what if we, like you said, our soul's been here and God knew us, we was kicking in heaven with God, but made a choice to come to the physical since life is a gift. What if you just came here with a choice, but you forgot? So we got to repent.
I don't
You don't
believe
feel that?
I don't feel that because God is the one that gave us life.
Right. Physical life, spiritual life.
It all starts with
Oh.
God. We can't exist without God. That's the point.
Right. But, I
So
mean,
we didn't
apparently
have a
we did, though.
We didn't have a
existed
choice
with
before
God.
God, is what I'm saying. We don't have a choice. We didn't have a choice before God.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
Because you just asked. You said, do you think that since we existed before we physically were here, do you think that we chose to be in this life? No, I don't think that we chose. That was all God's
You
doing.
don't think we
didn't
chose? You
choose
don't
to
think
be
we
here.
chose?
I don't think you could be born in hell neither.
I don't believe that either. No.
You
I
have
don't
to be
believe-
sent.
No.
to
Yeah, you got to be sent.
hell.
Exactly. That's what I
If
believe.
all spirits are created in heaven, let's just start there. If all life is created in
Ooh.
heaven, right? Then you have to go. There's a middle ground, right? And I think life is the middle ground. Life, the way that you live determines whether or not you're allowed back into the heaven gate.
Guys, there are so many things. Let's
Right.
go back to what you said
Right.
earlier, where you obviously you read John
3:16.
33:16.
Mhm.
You know, if you believe in God, then you'll have eternal life. What about the people who never know about Jesus Christ? Do you think that there are people who will never know in this lifetime?
There's
No, for sure.
there's another
You said
saying.
what, Chrome?
For sure. I mean, God tells our hearts. If you want to call him Jesus, call him Jesus. You want to call him God, Yahweh, whatever. He knows your heart. He can tell what's in your heart. So
Yeah.
I mean, we can't know if God's gonna sell somebody to heaven or hell. They could live the best Christian life to us with our eyes that we see, but their heart is weak.
No, I'm talking about even past Christians. I'm talking about, like, let's just say you have a Buddhist or whatever,
A Buddhist.
but they never hear about, Jesus. And do you think that all people eventually come to know who Jesus, or hear about Jesus, to have an opportunity to say yes to Jesus?
So when you talk about like being famous, or like you talk about like being successful, there's this guy who told me, it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you.
Mhm.
I think if God knows you, to your point, if God knows your heart and he sees you and he understands why you're not accepting or what you're going through, then I think God is the most forgiving. I don't think that he's going to just send you somewhere because you don't understand. He's going to try to help you understand. And that's why I said before that he'll watch you go through something. I really do. Like, I believe God knows. Like, he watches us go through this pain sometimes because he needs us to understand that he's there for us.
So do y'all think that, well, there's obviously souls that go to hell. I mean, as a Christian, that's what I believe.
Yeah.
So
We
Do
held
you believe-
bound.
do you believe that,
I think it's Hades right now.
huh?
I think it's Hades right now, not hell. I
Hades?
could be wrong.
I mean, there's hell, there's a lake of fire. You know what I'm saying? They said hell's gonna be cast into a lake of fire, which is called the second death.
But DJ,
You don't
you
wanna
had,
get to
you
that,
had
what?
said, it's like on the tip of my tongue, but you had said that, or my memory, that God knows your heart, right? Okay, but what about the people who? That's what I'm saying. Do you think people get bad because of their own decisions?
No, I mean, I could have died before I got baptized.
God, we talking about some.
Like, I'm just saying,
So
like,
she's
I
talking
could
about-
have,
she's-
I could have never started my journey with God. I just started this year.
Mm.
I don't think that God would have been like, oh, because you didn't start your journey, I'm not going to work with you now.
Mm.
Like, on a different level, like after I die. I don't think he just, with my understanding with God, I don't think he just going to close the door and be like, oh, you had
Oh, for sure.
your time on earth and you were supposed to listen to all those people that were telling you to believe in me and you didn't. I don't think he's going to.
With that being said, y'all, with that being said, I believe that, yes, God he'll make sure that everything ends up where it's supposed to be, okay? Like, everything will end up where it's supposed to be. God doesn't make mistakes. Okay, guys, I know we have to wrap this up, but we will continue this conversation about God, because we can just keep going with this. We can do that. So tune in, guys, next time on the Men Up Club Presents, on an extended conversation about God, the universe, existence, life, death, heaven, hell, all that. Continue to listen. We are on Holy Culture Radio. Okay, this has been Chrome, DJ, and I, Selena. And if you guys want to support the Man Up Club, go to themanupclub.org, okay? Instagram is themanupclub.mn. Y'all check us out.
Ew.
Cool.
Wow, that was a wonderful episode.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was
Wonderful.
super dope.
What you
So, were you saying like somebody in China that just, or like somebody
Yes.
somewhere else who never hears Jesus, God, who never
Yes.
sees the Bible or anything?
Wait,
Yes, tribes.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Word.
Tribes that
What
but
never
they
do you
found,
mean by,
they
like,
never
you're
found
not
God,
gonna
but they
bring you in,
found
you-
the devil. I'd be
you
like,
didn't
that's why they be
listen to
doing all that
everybody
other
else
stuff. You know what I'm
telling
saying?
to listen to me.
But I
What do you
mean, there has to
So
be
much
dudes like, if
So-
you sitting there like, bro, I don't know
I'm really-
what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who
Yeah,
you are. I don't know what.
I don't think.
But
I
I need
don't
you.
think God.
That's God's gonna speak to you because
is gonna
he's
ignore
listening to your heart. Like,
circumstance.
all right, I see him.
Okay, so you're saying
Yeah,
even though,
I don't think
even
that
though
he's
a
gonna be
person
like,
in
oh,
the physical world may not come up to them and be like, hey,
I
this
gave
is
you
the
everything
Bible.
you needed
It's
and
like
you
it's
just
like
didn't
You can
do your
still
job.
find it.
You can still find God's spirit somewhere, and if you
I mean,
follow that,
He wrote the truth in us already. Everything's already in us. We just gotta want to find out. You know what I'm saying? We already just gotta find out.
Exactly.
But it's like the little tribe, like people just get, you know what I'm
And I
saying? You
think
get swerved off in the
those
Buddhism. You get
situations,
swerved off
you
in there. You get
sent back
swerved off
here
in
sent to
this.
hell, right?
Instead
If
of
you don't
just
make it through that, what is the
being
alternative
with
to
you
not making it in
and then
heaven?
finding God inside of you and let him find you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hell.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to Hades. I mean, I think Hades right now is the waiting. That's what I was trying
I
to
mean,
say.
is Hades? That's just the Greek word,
So
right?
Hades, right? So hell is in somewhere in the Bible. It says that hell. I think it's not in Revelations necessarily. It might be, but Hades is a thing right now. Hell isn't necessarily open yet. So they're all like they're not tossed into hell, but they're in the waiting room or whatever. I'm not educated enough to like go on and on, but that's what I've heard. Like hell isn't like existing yet. Like it hasn't been opened up. Right?
I'm thinking that there's
the lake of
paradise.
fire will be opened up at the end times, like after the tribulation. I think.
I feel you on that. I mean, I feel like people just it's you know the purgatory, waiting rooms.
Right.
Hell is a waiting room.
Mhm.
Paradise is a waiting room.
But hell is the absence of God. Like there's no. That's what like there's no going back. Once you're in hell, there's no like you can't pray because God isn't there. He's not going to hear you.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
you
I
can't. I
think-
mean, you wouldn't be able to do it anyway because you're dead.
But in the Bible, it says that God is everywhere. It says even if you're in heaven, God is there. Even if I make my bed in hell, God is there.
Right,
Jesus even went to hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
But-
don't think that he's like that's the hell is the absence of God. It's not necessarily burning in hell. It's not necessarily like suffering. It is, of course, but it's also the absence. Like you think of hell, you think of pain and suffering. You think of like torture for eternity and eternity, right?
Mhm.
Like the worst of the worst. But I think of it as yes, I think that's probably true. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, that seems really harsh, right? When you think about hell, you're like,
Yeah.
dang, that's good.
Yeah.
Like you like as you were saying too, like there's people like way in islands that have never heard the book of the Bible. They've
Right.
never heard like people said.
Right? How
might
do
be
you
the only
condemn those
missionary-
who haven't?
You
been?
might be the only book of the Bible, like book or the Bible that somebody reads. So you gotta be careful with everything that you do, obviously. But like with that said, with people that don't know the Bible, like where do they go? Like what outcome did they get? Because they were never given the chance to be told about the Bible.
Right.
So like, is it Hades or is it hell? Because like once you're in hell, that's like the absence of God. That's what I believe, right? And Hades is like that's where they're waiting until Judgment Day. That's when everybody in Hades and in.
But
in-
then who was being cast in the lake of fire then?
that's after Judgment. That's Judgment Day.
So you're
That's when
saying
he's
you're
cast,
you're
and
being in
that's-
Hades for a minute, and
that's
then
where
once
yeah.
the judgment day comes,
I think
now everybody goes into hell,
Right.
and then after
And I
that,
think
hell's
he-
gonna be cast into the lake of fire at the end of
Yeah.
everything.
So he's saying that Hades is like a precursor to
Yeah,
hell.
that's where you're waiting room. Like you're not in the absence of God, but you're waiting until Judgment Day. Because you've already lived your life. Like what? You're not gonna be a ghost. Like you're not gonna go to hell because that's the separation between you and God. Like you can't reach God in hell.
Mhm.
That's how I've read the Bible and believed it and been
Mm-mm.
taught. But again, that's my belief.
So I was gonna say, so you read about Hades in the Bible?
Yeah, so there's it mentions a few places in the Bible, and I'm not gonna be very. That's why.
Yeah,
I'm
go
not
ahead,
on
go
that
ahead, go
side.
ahead.
Like I'm not.
We're still
educated
learning.
enough.
We're
I'm
still
Yeah, we still
learning.
learning,
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
kind of what I believe, because like, and if you piece it together, like I kind of have. Again, I'm not a philosopher or anything, but it makes sense, like because the Lake of Fire hasn't been opened up yet. I'm not saying it hasn't, but that's just kind of how I picture it, where it hasn't been opened, and then Judgment Day, everybody will come before God
Mhm.
at Judgment Day.
Right.
That's including the people that are in Hades, whatever you want to call it, in the waiting room, and the people that are already in heaven and joined with God, and the people that are on earth. Like that's after the 7 years of tribulation, after all the wars instead of done, Judgment Day, then people are separated to hell and to heaven and into the new earth, and so I do think you do get a new body and you do get new jobs. It's the new earth that's created because God is preparing a place for
Right,
us.
the new
And it's
Jerusalem,
in
right.
heaven, there also is the new earth, right, that He's
Right,
created.
right.
And I don't think that it'll be like this earth. We want to keep busy. We're humans. We're meant for a purpose. We need to like keep busy. So I'm sure we'll have jobs in the second earth. And again, none of this is in the Bible. This is just my belief, right?
Mhm.
I'm sure we'll have jobs. I'm sure that we'll have bodies that will be existing in. We won't just be spirits that are going around. We'll be again, it could be our job is to worship God. Like that's
And God could blow this bitch up too.
It's true. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the
They say the sun
end thing.
gonna
At
explode
the
one
end,
day.
this is gonna,
Oh.
the earth is going to be destroyed. You know, heaven will be left, but that's kind of how I see it. So I do think we will get bodies after.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. We got to. I mean, this is all human made.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
this
Think
is-
about
we're
what God's
flesh
gonna
right now.
crank.
It'll be super
Streets of gold, bro. You know what I'm
That's
saying? Like, bro, come on, bro. Like, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Nothing like this. Even the trees gonna look different, probably. You know, everything is gonna be different
Mhm.
because we don't know what God's gonna make, bro. God, bro.
You know, there, like you said, this is, like you said, you're not a philosopher, and obviously we only know this life to be now, but we are given wisdom, and in the Bible, we can take descriptions, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, the land of milk and honey, a place where there's no tears, no crying, so it's like, we have clues
Mhm.
to the afterlife and things like that. We're not left completely clueless, but yeah.
Yeah, I for sure think there's different dimensions. You know, like Hades, hell, lake of fire. Like all those could be all three
What
completely
you
different
think the
things.
lake of fire is?
That's the final.
I won't be thinking
That's the
about
final.
the lake of fire a
And
lot.
nobody
Like,
do.
I-
That's just
Right,
saying.
like,
Nobody
this
do.
is just literally. That's why I went live, y'all. What's up? It's because it's just like, okay, we just recorded a episode on the Man Up Club Presents podcast. Make sure you guys tune into that, by the way, on Holy Culture Radio, channel 140. But yeah, like we're talking about, you know, God, the devil, heaven, hell, existence, like just spirituality, because we all know we think about these things, you know, and just because us as Christians, and we're all four of us are Christians in this room, just because we're all Christians, that doesn't necessarily mean that we exactly believe in the same exact thing. Now, we're all learning at the same time, you know what I'm saying? But we can agree to disagree, but we talk about these things in order to find truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to think through things in order to come to a conclusion. So, yeah, guys. Looking at me like Chrome over here just looking at me like that for once.
Working.
And DJ is just
Working.
like, I know we out here working. And DJ, what you doing, DJ?
What I'm doing right now?
Yes.
Absolutely nothing. Scrolling Facebook, you know, texting Ogechi in the group chat.
Okay.
Adding stuff to my story.
Shout out to Ogechi. Yeah, we just finished up a project, but yes, thank you for the happy birthday wish.
I know she didn't want to hang out with us. On
Yeah,
her birthday.
guys, we just, you know, chilling. So we don't have time for another episode right now, huh?
No.
Yeah. So, here's the schedule for next week. So Monday, we do have this studio open for a podcast recording, and then Wednesday again. But yeah, so I'm just putting that out there. DJ, I know you said you have some guys who would like to get on the Man Up Club podcast. Speaking of, if you're watching this or you know somebody who would like to, you know, get on the podcast and they are a young black male between, actually, there's no age limit. It's
If
just-
you work with young black men,
if you work with young black men,
or
you know,
are
this is a platform for young black men. You feel me? Because it's the Man Up Club podcast. As far as work, obviously you guys know I'm an artist, but like for work, I'm the youth and program director for the Man Up Club. So sometimes, a lot of the times these days, I've been coming on here and doing the shows and things like that. But I would love you too. So funny. Chrome, are you just laughing
Oh
at
my
me do
gosh,
thing?
bro! Because seeing girls on live is so funny.
Oh, it
So
is
funny.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so if you guys know of any young black men who would love to speak about life, like we talk about so many things, you know, spirituality, like money, relationships, controversial topics, politics, you know, just personality, identity, like everything. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys telling me my energy is great. I just turned 26.
pushing 30.
Whoa.
Pushing 30.
Shut up, I'm
Whoa.
not.
She's pushing. We pushing 30.
Guys, I'm gonna post my birthday pics and y'all better comment on there and y'all better share it. No, I'm just playing.
She's pushing 30.
Yeah.
Ain't she trying to be like me? Y'all see she wearing a vest today? I don't know why she thought.
Bro, I was literally finna be very vested today, bro. We was finna be
We was gonna be
3P.
vested.
Jake
Yeah,
from
vesting.
State Farm.
Besties.
He,
Besties.
My nigga.
Oh,
my
shit.
nigga. Try not to get you demonetized.
Yeah, please, bro. Let
Monetization.
me run my company.
So yeah, the Men Up Club presents
bro, we need to get some
podcasts. I
podcasts
will
going, bro.
post clips. I love you too.
You know what I'm saying? We got to get some outside podcasts out of here. We need.
Okay, guys, I will talk to y'all later, but
You
stop.
can talk to me now.
Wait! Look what you did. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
What's up, Dylan? Okay, so I appreciate the hearts.
I told you, bro. Isn't this shit
Y'all
funny?
making
Isn't
her
this shit funny?
blush.
It's
Oh
so
my
funny,
gosh.
bro.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Oh my
anyways.
gosh.
Anyways, guys, tune in next time. Okay, yeah, this is about Okay, they're laughing at me too much. Y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. Don't wait till the weekend to live it up. Like, live life every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like, wake up, get dressed, you know, wash yourself, all that.
Whoa, what?
went
Watch yourself.
That
She
went
got
left.
dirty followers.
Well, if you want to be dirty,
Your
be
followers
dirty.
ain't taking
You
a
wanna
shower.
Be dirty. Don't
Yeah.
worry. I didn't even iron my shirt today. We're
That's
still
okay.
living life.
But
We're
at
living life.
But I'm sure it smells good.
That's
Like,
outrageous. Wash yourself.
no, but like, no, because it makes a
Hygiene,
difference.
nigga. Hygiene.
Especially as a woman, it makes a difference if you know, like you put yourself together.
I'm outta here, y'all.
And then have your date. You know what I'm saying? Cause what, like, okay, my hair is pressed, okay, and I have my eyelashes. I said eyelashes. No, like my eyebrows are done. So, but then you know, I got my outfit or whatever. But it's like it would be a whole different vibe if like I was looking a mess. Like I wouldn't even be on live right now. So, guys, just yeah.
Take care of yourselves.
Take care of yourselves. Wash
I
up.
don't even know how she.
Yes.
Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth, guys.
Get behind your ears.
Okay, so I will